Let's see. Welcome to our chat. I'm on, guys. Welcome. Okay, bye, y'all. Now I gotta stop this and post it and do all that. Okay, okay, okay. Welcome. It look like my eyes ain't open. I really don't know how to help that. So, welcome to today's show. It's Thursday. Ain't nobody Thursday. We wish. I so wish it was Thursday. It is. Ooh, I pressed the button on on this thing on Instagram. Oh no. See, I don't want to do none of that Shannon shop. Me and Michelle going live or nothing. Um, but it's Tuesday, May 13th. Yeah, because like Friday 13th. Yes, May 13th. I am your host, Crazy Melanin Princess, aka Big Mama. So what y'all up to tonight? A link. Join me live right now on YouTube. Link in bio, because the link does not always work from YouTube, which is kind of weird to me, you know? I guess it get a little, I don't know. But sometimes my links don't be linking, so I don't know what's up with that, you know? No, I'm not trying to copy my handle now. I'm trying to copy my link more. Okay, here we go. So, today's show is titled, when I say holidays, they're emotional, mental, and that's a bit much, yeah. You think? How y'all feel? They're mental, emotional, and financial impacts. It made me think about it because I was having a conversation with a friend at a bar, of course, and we were just talking about a gamut of things. She, like I, lost her mother, and so Mother's Day is just a weird something. Interestingly enough, and we'll get into it. The fact that it was founded, or the origin of Mother's Day here in the States, really is because of a woman who was like us, orphaned and lost her mother. So show's not down like that. It ain't really, it ain't about that. Don't be sad. We ain't about to be sad up in here on the Taco Tuesday. Not on the Taco Tuesday. But I am trying to drop this link in the, okay, tag people. How you tag everybody? Do y'all know how to do that on Instagram? On tag everybody. Okay, so that's that. So welcome, thank you guys for joining me today, or tonight. Our time capsule for Tuesday. Ain't much going on. It really ain't. Not today. Everything is about Trump and these tariffs. So that's, I guess, really the biggest global story. I guess it's a 90-day plan. I don't know. I didn't read into it. But I do know that both U.S. and China have kind of backed off on this little trade war we got going on, as the U.S. should, because we the losers. You know, we were about to win the war. So what will make us, well, I'll shut up. Vietnam. Okay, there's a bunch of other ones that answer that exact same question. Why would we? We just do it because we stupid. Oh, I ain't supposed to. Okay, never mind. Hey, Lisa. I love this. I still love this. When does he need it done? This is my sister, y'all. We on YouTube Live. Oh, shit. Tomorrow, yes, I do know a couple. Let me reach. Well, let me finish the show, and then we'll talk about it. Right, that's me. That's me. Oh my gosh, y'all! I'm gonna tell y'all all about it too. Okay, bye. So that's Miss Shelton on the line. She crazy. My nephew is in need of a barber tonight, tomorrow. He's an actor, and he needs somebody because he got some work that's going on. So I'm putting that out there. That's what she called me for. I said, yeah, I'll give you some names after we get off this line because I'm on the on the main line. Is on the main line. So we on the main line over here on the YouTubes, and I done took her call because I'm thinking she about to say, "Girl, I see you moving, but I don't hear no sound." So that's why. Anywho, she said, "Oh shit, let me get over there." Okay, I see you. That's my big sister. Now, since I always tell y'all a little bit about us, it's 5 girls and 5 boys, and me and her are the only 2 girls that are left. We lost a sister last year, a sister 2 years before that, and then the sister that we never knew because she passed away before we were even born. So, yeah, 5 girls, 5 boys. That's us. And I'm the baby. I'm number 10. 10 out of 10. Lisa's like, let's see. 1, 2, 3. You number 4, huh, Lisa? Oh, she gonna be here tomorrow. Good. Bring your ass over here. Mm. Tonight's drink is a lemon dropper. Do y'all see that little pink stuff? I dropped some. I dropped some cranberry juice in there. 100% cran. That's what it is. Back to this time capsule. So what we putting in the time capsule? U.S. China. Okay, we talked about that. Puffy trial. That just started yesterday. This is day 2. And explosive. It's East and West Coast shit. It's just too much to say. We would have to have a whole show, and maybe we will have one where we could just dive into it and talk about it, okay? Because, oh my gosh, that's just, okay, that's the biggest news right now. That's the biggest real news, because this China war and tariffs, that's that. Here in LA last night, it was a police chase that ended in Leimert Park with 2 people seriously injured. Now, that was crazy. Now, I guess it's not crazy, the high-speed chase, but you know, I say, yo, you believe it'll never happen to you in your neighborhood. Now, we know the things that happen in our neighborhood because that's our neighborhood. We see them pass by. They don't end right in front of us. I think that's our thing. Them zooming up and down, oh yeah, we see that. That's a daily occurrence. It's just the pow, that part ending here. Don't typically end around here. So that's that. And in Sterling, that's it. That's all I got. That's the time capsule. Well, that's it. If y'all watch my Instagram story earlier, I told y'all about them dang dogs. What happened? I went outside, and the reason why I went outside, so I gave them water. What's today? It's Tuesday. Sunday, real late. Gave them water. And they got troughs, like 6 big troughs of water. And yesterday, because my bedroom window, I can look and actually see that area of the yard. I'm thinking, I know they ain't drinking all that water because I can see that 3 of them were bone dry. And so I'm looking like, okay, they got 2.5 left in the morning. I'll give them water. They heard me in the kitchen and they knocked on the door. I said yes, and they hit the water pail. It's warm tonight. Last night, the night before, We parked back here. I was like, okay, fine. I go back there, and again, I got dressed for the show earlier than anticipated. Reason being, this story right here, these dang dogs. Because usually I wait till it's almost time for the show, and then I'll be rushing and doing all that stuff. Didn't do that today. Guess they wanted me to be on time, and they ain't even barking. Usually they always bark during the show, and they ain't barking. They say, "Yeah, yeah, big mama, this is how we get you to be on time and ready and not agitated and last minute in it." So I go out there knowing I should have put on tennis shoes. Had on these little, they ain't raggedy, they nice flip flops. Had on these flip flops. Um, I go out there to give them the stuff. They fight for attention. They fight to scurry away. When you go out there, everybody is chaotic. Y'all seen it on my Instagram. Chaotic. The ones that love me, they fighting to get the attention, and the ones who are just a part I want to follow around because everybody's moving in that direction. I'm going to. Then it's just too much. I turned on the water to do the pail, and they all come jump inside of it. The puppies stand inside of where the water's running, inside the thing. So I moved to the next one and let them have it because it's disgusting. You know, you got puppy paws in your water, but it's okay. I wash them out and start filling them up one at a time. I moved to the next one. So they're drinking the water. Meanwhile, a fight ensues over there. Now I gotta go over there. I pick up one of the pails because I know that they're puppies. They won't intentionally bite me now. The big dog, they better not ever bite me, or that'll be the last thing they ever bit down on. Okay, I'm not scared of them. I'm not scared of the puppy. I'm not scared of any of them. But I'm not gonna reach down in this puppy fight and have one of them cut my hand because their teeth are sharp as heck. So I use the pail, to kind of scoop the piece away from each other. They like to dig holes in the dirt back there because it's dirt. It ain't no grass no more. Dirt. Dig, crap, dig, crap. And so it's like, it's a landmine. I'm not in the proper shoes for a fight. And then the big dogs want to get involved. And I yell at them, like, if you're not going to help me, like, pick these puppies up and move, if you're not going to help me separate the fight, you're just in my way. They're thinking, because I know that they're crying, like, oh, I want to help. But you ain't no help. You in my way. Big dog Tyson, he hits the back of my leg to where I buckle. So that's why I had to come in the house. Mind you, I still have to walk over there with on me. Cause yeah. So I had to go over there and go continue to fill up the pans now that the dogs got separated. I did almost got separated. I need to wash my ass. And yeah. So there you have it. So that's why I got dressed earlier. Them dogs made me. It's a real shitty story, huh? My gardening, on the other hand, that's not something I mind getting dirty for. And my bell peppers are bell peppering. My jalapenos are jalapeñoing. That serrano, maybe it missed the season. I don't know. I think that might be what's happening. Beautiful little plant. Ain't bear not near fruit. I don't know if Costco got me. That's why I was so excited that I got 3 plants for $12.99 or $11.99. Yeah, because it was $12. So yeah, I don't know if I got duped by one plant, but the other ones are worth it. So I still see it as a bargain. So yeah, that's that about that. I can't wait until the bell peppers come because I'm gonna make. I forgot, but I looked at some. I was like, "Ooh, that look good." It's just a different variation of dang stuffed bell pepper because that's all I really know is bell pepper goes, other than putting them in my salad. So, kids corner. These kids, we almost here. So next week's show, when I go live, all 3 of them will be here. I asked Sterling if he want to be a part of the show because he's here. He said, yeah, no. He cut all his hair off. He's so cute. Well, it's not cute. It's handsome. He looks so handsome. My little Sterling B. Yeah, so Sterling's here. He gonna be here. Aja. We went bike riding on Mother's Day, and that was so much fun. And Chopper still owe me that hundred and some dollars for that knee brace, and I want my money. He'll be here this weekend, and oh, he got a jury summons. Oh, I got. No, I can't be talking about I'm gonna open somebody's jury something on a live thing, even though he's my child, and he's away at college, and I would like to respond on his behalf so y'all don't think that he's a delinquent. When how is he gonna know if I don't tell him? What am I supposed to do? Is there a protocol for that? Am I supposed to mail it to him? What if there's a date that's between this date and this date? How he know? Ain't I supposed to be the one to open mail? Let him know. He ain't even here. How he gonna do jury duty downtown LA? He is in downtown Honolulu, okay? So that's Delulu if you think that he gonna come here and do this jury doo-doo, okay? Anyhow, so yeah, that's that. But I guess he'll be here. He figure it out when he get here. That's some kids. So speaking about Sterling, he's putting together these prom letters. So let me tell y'all about this because I don't have a black business spotlight this week. I still have my cousin's book up. Y'all can always go on there. I said I was going to put I said I was going to put this in the link of last week's thing, and I didn't do it, so I got to put that on my to-do list. See, that's why I need an assistant. If I had somebody, anybody, help me. Just buy the peppers from the store and plant the seeds. It works even better. Well, Erica. Well, what do you mean? Like, that's fine too. That's what I'm about to do for some of the other stuff. But it was a plant, and I got it. And so now we over here rocking and rolling. Now, leave me alone. Black business. Okay, let's talk about it as it relates to prom. Have y'all been seeing some of these prom parties? Hey, JJ! Have y'all been seeing some of these prom parties? I said, I don't know if I talked about this last week, but I've been sending my sister stuff because we over here working on my niece's prom send off, right? That's what it's called, prom send off. And we're looking at what people are doing, thinking they gotta be crazy or secretly richer than we ever could have thought, and we don't count nobody's money, honey. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. It looks like she's about to get married. Like the whole rented out space and the parquet floors and just the stuff and the monogram, the insignia. What? We got a quote from one of my dearest and best friends who has always operated a party planning company. Baby, this ish ain't cheap for balloons. You mean like balloons? 4 balloon little things. 4 little, it's like 8, it's 9 balloons on the thing. And like a streamer. And like 2 balloons at the bottom. She said 200 each. Cause wait, huh? And so the minute my sister was like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna be able to do that." And it ain't a matter of if I can't afford it; it's where you place value, and that is not for what this is. Come on now, we understand the value of $1, and that's ridiculous. Just really is for us. Now, you got it, you do it. That's great. However, for us, for those of you who don't know, I have a floral company called Lorraine Floral, and it's on Instagram. Maybe I should put that in here. So this week's Black Business Spotlight is she, right here, Lorraine Floral and Decor, because that's what we add to it. I said, okay, so let me see. I tell my sister we walk in, like we gotta figure this out. We walk in, and 3 seconds later, I said, TT, I know how to do it. I'm a creative. Hello, I'm a Cancer. I said, I know how to do it myself. I just learned how to figure it out and how to do it. She's like, yeah, for real? I said, mm-hmm. Buy these balloons, do this. She came over here and tested it on me. And hello? So if you guys are in need of prom letters and all this stuff, rental of prom letters, the big 4-foot ones that say PROME and all that stuff. Maybe they're talking about like that whole thing, $650. Whatever price you find, I'll do it for you for 50% less. Okay? So, yeah, out of everything else, I'm always going to birth me a goddamn business. Lorraine, and I'm doing the centerpieces, duh, because that's what I do. Lorraine Floral and Decor. I am your Black Business Spotlight. I'll take pictures, and because I learned how to split my screen and do all of that, I'm not doing it on this show because I'm kind of scared. So we're gonna test it out next week, okay? I'll take pictures and then show and do all that. Show and tell next week. Show and tell. Your girl, her and her Black Business Spotlight, because yeah, and my sister, she's gonna be a part of it too. Not really, but kind of, sort of, she is. She's gonna help rent equipment, and then I gotta do all the early morning runs for anything that's early morning, and then she'll come help me assemble and do that. That's what she said she'd do. So she's a worker bee. She knows her place. That's good, because she ain't getting up early. She said, no, that's not for her. No, ma'am, thank you. And that's it. Do you guys know that last month was the month that, sorry, my eczema, that's what I call it, eczema. My eczema's acting up and I'm itching, right? Black women lost the most jobs in April. That's some crazy mess. Let me learn y'all something real quick. It's due to Trump's policies. There's this economist, William Michael Cunningham, was saying that he said the unusual nature of this increase in black women's unemployment is a testament to and a direct result of the anti-DEI and anti-black focus of the new administration's policies. So experts have pointed to the rollback of DEI efforts, both federally and corporately, as a key reason. 38,000 jobs lost. Black women's unemployment went up by 106,000. Unemployment jumped from 5.1% to 6.1%. And federal jobs held by black women dropped by 33% in this last year. I just need that to be on our minds, okay? On a happier note, because I'm about placing things on people's heart. What we do with them, that's part of life, right? But I'm going to place it on you. I'm going to put it on you. Okay. Rite Aid is closing a gang of stores, y'all. Do y'all know that? What's going to happen with the ice cream? Do you know that is... Oh, I got a sunlight beam. Do you guys know that is one of the biggest questions happening right now? It's as if don't nobody care about the fact that pharmacies will be closing, because that's what Rite Aid really kind of streamlined too. Don't nobody care about that. Everybody said, where the heck is we going to get this thrifty ice cream? Ooh, this is driving me mad. Hold on, guys. So what we going to do without ice cream? We ain't got no thrifty ice cream. That thrifty butter pecan. That butter pecan be hitting. And y'all know it do. That butter pecan hit like it ain't never hit. That's why people fell in love with butter pecan. Because of thrifty. And then everybody else, what's that, 31 flavors? It's called Baskin Robbins. Ooh, I'm telling my age, huh? A kid, I should ask Sterling. Oh, he old, he know. Ooh, I'm going to ask a kid, what's 31 flavors? They going to be like, I don't know. They need to put that on one of them black cards. Is that food for less? Oh, yeah, they going to have to keep it there. Oh, yeah, let us know. See, we be needing stuff like this. Because how we supposed to know? And then what we supposed to do? When they go out of business and people were like crackheads in the hood looking for some of that butter pecan. What's every black lady's favorite ice cream over the age of 35? That's so silly. We so silly. We's a silly group of people, okay? I got a Buddhist principle because I don't usually always have one, but I want you to keep this kind of front of mind as we go through. I know you. As we go through the show, right? Oh, these glasses can't be any more dirty than they are. The root of suffering is attachment. Buddhists typically believe that you go through life, right? Things are going to happen, and you always are questioning the whys behind it. Knowing that you'll never find them is what you find while you're questioning the whys, right? And, that's going to have to work. So I have a deeper understanding of it for myself, not deeper than you, but for myself, like a deeper understanding, being, one who practices in whatever Buddhism. So that's our Buddhist principle, and I'm gonna leave this up here because I want to repeat that again. As it relates to holidays, let's get into the show. So our topic today is holidays, their emotional, mental, and financial impacts. Because, baby, if you have anything on your heart, like, I lost a child, I lost a parent, I go broke every year, all these holidays impact your life in some way, you are not alone, baby. You are not alone. And I didn't even do real deep dive on this. We just put it out there because Mother's Day just passed. And I saw a recurring theme of all the people celebrating who couldn't really celebrate their mothers because they had passed on, like myself. So, that's what the show's about. Let's get into it. So, the origin of Mother's Day, as we know it here in the United States, it originated with Anna Jarvis, who after the death of her mother, Anne, dedicated herself to creating a national holiday to honor mothers. That's why we celebrate Mother's Day here in the United States of America. So it was already birthed or, predicated on the celebration of a passed on mother, not necessarily your mother that's here. But all mothers, not that, you can only celebrate your mother because she dead. No, not at all. But hey, let's give our moms some props. Let's move on to Valentine's Day. These are the ones we're going to talk about. Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, Easter, Christmas, and I think Thanksgiving. Yeah. A little bit. In some kind of way. Valentine's Day. Now this is a biggie, so we're gonna get into this one because it's what And it's a theme. It's a recurring theme with all of these holidays, aside from, I'm going to say, probably Mother's Day. We're going to start with the fact that it's rooted in paganism. I don't really know if that's a word, but it's a pagan holiday. So get into it, because, baby, it's a story. This is actually one with a story, and I'm going to tell it all. Mm-hmm. After I drink my drink. Okay. There's this Lupercalia. It was a Roman festival for fertility. I gotta write that down. Fertility, celebrated in the middle of February. Pay attention to this stuff, because it's a recurring theme with a lot of these holidays. It's crazy. So of course I can go down a rabbit hole, but we're about to get into it. Okay. And these one this BS got people spending all of their hard-earned money on some stupid ish, just because somebody else made you think that this is something that should be celebrated, and you should feel some kind of way if somebody don't do this. Do you even know what you're celebrating? Do you even know why you should be buying you a goddamn diamond bracelet? Girl, that's dumb. It's real dumb. And when I tell y'all this, I hope people feel dumb and start to use their money in more impactful ways than this crap called holidays. Okay? So anyhow, Valentine's Day. This Roman festival of fertility. They always celebrating fertility. That's what I want y'all to listen to. Always celebrating fertility. It's the one that's celebrated in mid-February. So it involved a ritualistic cleansing and was associated with, I can never say this right, racket celebrations and pairing off. As Christianity began to spread, the pagan practices of Lupercalia were gradually replaced by Christian observances. So when the Christians start rolling in these pagan holidays, always either the Catholics or somebody always, some faith always comes in and reshapes, changes some of these pagan holidays, which is weird to me. The Christian connection is St. Valentine. So this is where he enters into the scene. Because people are like, oh no, it's based off of St. Valentine. Girl, it was a pagan holiday well before that, where they was up there doing assault. I can't say it on here. We gotta, yeah. Okay, so it started. They was doing bad things to women to Handmaid's Tale. That's what we had going on. Handmaid's Tale. Okay? That was a festival, mid-February. So then the Christian connection, they come in, and St. Valentine, he was a Roman clergyman, but he was martyred on February 14th. It's a few different stories, legends about his life and all of this other stuff, that he secretly performed marriages for different types of couples, young couples that probably needed people, under Roman law, things that weren't forbidden, he would give them the marriage. He's also said to have written a letter to a jailer's daughter before his execution. And they say that the phrase, the origin of the phrase, from your Valentine, came from that. These tales be crazy, but this other stuff is factual, and I'll give y'all all of the breakdowns on it. So, the shift to the Christian observance of it was Pope Gelasius I declared that the new festival, or the feast of St. Valentine, and that was 496 AD. It replaced the pagan festival. Now, instead of the Lupercalia, that was, is now honoring St. Valentina. Okay? It evolved into a day of love and affection, with symbols like the heart, Cupid, and all of that other little gimmicky stuff that, okay. Now, Chaucer had an influence because he wrote a poem, The Parliament of Fowls. He further went in off of these tales of what St. Valentine did for these couples, and linked love and connection in this poem with St. Valentine for this festival of Valentine's Day, or the day, whatever. Here's where commercialism, capitalism, and modern day Valentine's come from. In the 18th century, Valentine's Day began to be celebrated with the exchange of gifts, cards, and expressions of affection. The industrialization of the 19th century led to the commercialization of the holiday, with the mass production of cards, chocolates, and other Valentine's Day items. Okay. Easter. It's Resurrection Day. It's Passover. So we know those origin stories, right? Now, some things that I learned about was about the Pascal theories, chronicles, or whatever. And it was really these people trying to say whose calendar was right for where Easter falls. If it was Passover, because the Jews celebrated Passover, or if the Christians and their resurrection. So the Pascal thing was kind of like a mediator to try and see who was right and how do we get one accord with the same calendar that everybody uses, because you can't have this over here, you can't have that over there, but you can, because you can. Anyhow, that's that. But we know how Easter came about, right? The commercialization of Easter came about with bunnies and all that. I think it was like 1641. They finally got down to the bottom of the mess and said, here you go. And so, because I forgot, we know what it is, resurrection, but the bunny came in around 1641. Okay. Thanksgiving, it traces back to, of course, when the Plymouth colonists came. That 1621. Everybody was making up shit in the 1600s. We ain't got nothing to do. Them big old long ugly brown skirts scraping the dirt ground and just make up. So that was a time when they was making up ish. Okay. It was a harvest celebration where they and the Native Americans, of course, shared feast after a successful harvest. While they consider that the first Thanksgiving, the term Thanksgiving wasn't what it was called then. That shit got made up by President, yours truly, Abraham Lincoln. He made up the word Thanksgiving. That's what it is. That's where you go get you some Thanksgivings, okay? And he declared it a national holiday. That was in 1863. Christmas ain't got nothing to do with the birth of Jesus Christ. And this is not a religious show, but really, it ain't got nothing to do with the birth of Jesus Christ. It's rooted in the fact that the early church decided to align with the existing pagan winter solstice celebration. They said this is a good time to do it. That's what they did. That's how it was formed. December 25th, this Christmas. This is when Jesus was born, and this is when we doing it. Because the pagans got another little thing going on over there, so we just gonna join on in. It's a big festival. Why recreate, reinvent the wheel, do any of that? Rations when it comes to feasts and all that stuff. I'm sure it was real hard at that time. So this is when we gonna do this, and that's when they did that. Everything typically around these things, as I saw, came down to solstice, the winter solstice, the summer solstice, this equinox, this is when we decided, based off of the 4 seasons, when we gonna throw these things, these festivals in line to celebrate what we saying we're gonna celebrate. So the church chose to piggyback on the pagan winter solstice extravaganza and said, this is what we gonna call it. This is when it's gonna be. So that's how you got us celebrating the birth of Christ, December 25th. Um, Another popular pagan festival was Saturnalia in Rome, and it celebrated the return of the sun after the winter solstice. So you know what that means. So yeah, those are that's how we got the holidays to begin with. Okay. So while people want to jump off bridges and kill themselves because they can't buy nobody no presents, I wish they knew what I just learned on good today. Baby, it ain't worth it. Them kids ain't getting no new Atari. Okay, I'm aging myself. Okay, let's talk about what we spending. Let's get into some of the numbers, okay? Real time. Get into some of the numbers. Valentine's Day, total record spending $27.5 billion. That's this year. It's up from 25 billion in 2024, okay? The average person spent $188. Ching ching. Oh, I need my sound effects, Erica. Top gift categories: jewelry, 6.4 billion; evening outings, 4.9 billion; candy, 2.2 billion; flowers, 2.6 billion; greeting cards, 1.1 billion. 35 to 45 year olds or 44 year olds. So 35 to 44 year olds are the highest spenders, averaging $335 per person. It's coming from 40% shopping channels, 33% shopped online, 31% shopped department discount stores. Mother's Day total spending, 34.1 billion, slightly below 2023, which is 35.7 billion. Average person spent $259. Popular gifts: flowers, 74% of shoppers; greeting cards got 73% shoppers; special outings like brunch or dinner, 61% people did that; jewelry, 6.8 billion. Ooh, mama's is getting jewelry. I ain't got no jewelry. Flowers, 3.2 billion. Special outings, 3.5 billion. The celebration rate is 84% of U.S. adults. That's a lot. Easter, 23.6 billion, up from 22 billion in 2024. Average person spent $177. Top categories: candy, 92%. Candy, okay? Candy, 92% of consumers plan to purchase. Food, 7.4 billion. Gifts, 3.8 billion. Clothing, 3.5 billion. Gotta look sharp. Gotta look sharp, okay? It's Easter. I want y'all to pay attention to all the places you've fallen into adding to these tallies, okay? Thanksgiving dinner cost. Average cost for a classic Thanksgiving dinner for 10 people is $58. A 5% decrease from 2023. These are November statistics. Price trends: while turkey prices have decreased by 6%, the overall cost remains 19% higher than pre-pandemic levels. Christmas. Total holiday spending projected between, this is what's the name? So 979 billion and 989 billion. That's the range. So that's wow. 979 to 989 billion, marking a 2.5% to a 3.5% increase from 2023. So that's an average of $1,012 on gifts per person. Online and non-store sales are expected to rise. Y'all be shopping. Whoo, y'all be shopping. Y'all be shopping. So how many gone? Hi, TT. Tell me. So tell me. Tell me, baby. How many of y'all fell into a lot of them categories? Because I did. I buy Aja stuff on Valentine's Day. I don't do nothing on Easter. I will say Easter is probably the only one out of all of those. I'm gonna buy Aja stuff on Valentine's Day. I'm gonna buy. Well, I used to still buy candy on Easter. So yeah, I was definitely in that candy bunch. Yep. Christmas, I don't even celebrate it, but some kind of way it's something. Because of course, when you got kids, not that I buy them anything, it's always like, oh, I always gotta buy something for my company little party or whatever. So that's me forced to buy something. So you're gonna buy something. You have to buy something in this little group. Oh, it's an exchange. It's something. Even if I don't celebrate it, it's just like you're in it, so you do it. So I'm a part of consumerism for that against my own will. But of course, there's a limit and a max on those gifts. So I'm pretty good there. Well, yeah, y'all tell me where y'all be cutting up, because people be cutting up. Okay, let's get into this mental and emotional, and we're gonna just call it that, all in like a grouping, because it's all the same to me. Your mental health and state usually stems from emotional positives or negatives, right? So let's start with, so we can end on a positive. Let's start on the negative impacts of holidays, baby. Loneliness and isolation. For those who are estranged, grieving, single, or far from family, holidays can intensify feelings of isolation and exclusion. Again, find where you fall into a lot of this. How holidays have impacted you, right? Grief and sadness. So these are the negative impacts: loneliness and isolation, grief and sadness. Holidays can reopen wounds related to lost loved ones, especially if those people were key parts of past celebrations. When you're like, oh, usually dad carves the turkey, and then you're looking, and then that's when it hits you that that's where the void is in something so small, but it can conjure up and trigger, grief and sadness. Financial stress. Well, hell, we didn't just talk about that, because y'all be spinning, okay? Y'all be spinning the block. I done seen the prom parties. Y'all be spinning the block, okay? Gift buying, travel, events, and other holiday expenses can create financial strain, leading to anxiety or shame. Think about when you can't get what somebody expects of you, when you feel as if the only language at a specific point in time, holidays, the only love language that could be heard is my tennis bracelet, my purse. I don't got a little car outside with a bow on it. I don't got the new shoes. I got something that everybody needs to see that you got me, as a display and a show of your love, dedication, commitment, attachment, and all of that to me. You don't have that, and then say that, well, I don't have that, but I do love you. I'm defined by the fact that it was a pagan ritual back in the day where they was SAing women, forcing them to have babies. And now I because they had that, then somebody else said, I'm going to start celebrating him, and then it celebrated him, and now it's this day of where I'm supposed to feel bad that I can't buy that. That's what love is I can't love you because I can't afford. And a testament to your love is financial stress, I say, let it go, let it go, let it go. In the illustrious words of Keisha Cole. Unrealistic expectations. Because again, it's the pressure to create a perfect experience or maintain traditions that can cause emotional burnout. I am her, she is me. Disappointment and feelings of inadequacy. The pressure that you feel to always host a this or to always have a that. People don't take into account your financial strain. They still like, you didn't make the such and such. Well, the such and such costs like $40. People don't take into all that stuff. Like, oh, you didn't do this. I don't got that this year. Oh man, that's my favorite thing when I come. If I would have known that, then what? Family conflict. This is probably the good part, though. This is the part that the onlookers and spectators, especially if it ain't your family and you going for a holiday with a date or something, and you get to go see the ooh baby. When it resurfaces, some unresolved issues, some generational differences, tension, especially when it comes to politicking. Politicking. People's lifestyle choices, child. Or past grievances on who did not go see Mama Nim when Mama Nim was here. I was always at that nursing home. I ain't never seen you. And you stole her pearls. Baby, them family conflicts be. They come, that spirit coming, it come to the family table and it don't be so good. So sometimes the holidays don't help when things ain't right. It don't be good. It's just, sometimes people need to not come together as family. People are like, oh, we shouldn't always see each other at funerals, but sometimes that might be the best time and the only time you can get them to kind of, sort of, a little bit maybe behave and act like they got a little bit of sense and be solemn enough to just be like, oh yeah, I see that, I'm gonna go over there, but I'm not gonna give nothing to it, not today. But you know, once that and like cues start to kick in, baby, when you're black like this and you're not like this, as Funky Dineva say, it gets popping. Okay, there's a disorder called SAD, seasonal affective disorder. I always believed that there was something, and then I looked into it, and it is something called SAD, and I always feel it in December, and things that just, I feel as if I'm willing bad things to myself during the holiday season or whatever. You get kind of, yeah, and it really is based around winter holidays, reduced daylight and cold weather that creates depressive symptoms. As someone who was already diagnosed as a manic depressant, yeah, it sucks when the sun ain't out and I'm freezing and I have to stay indoors and I'm an outdoorsy person. And see, and my sister has it too. I'm an outgoing person. I'm an outdoorsy person. I love the sun. It charges me like a solar batteried individual. When the sun out, I'm out. Buns out. Who knows what else I got out? Because it's time to be out. Hello? Outside. That's what summer is for. Outside. Oh, well, now the dogs want to go on and get in. Yeah, so that is real. It's real. It is really real. When that gloom comes in, the sun goes down at 2 in the afternoon, you go to work in the dark, you come home in the dark. That is not a time of, like, you try. I'm not an indoorsy person. I don't go do things indoors. I did want to go axe throwing, but I couldn't find really a place out here. But, yeah, that's, yep. Oh, wow. So, yeah, a lack of vitamin D, sis. Yes, a lack of, and I believe it, a lack of vitamin D. Especially my sister lived in the Bay Area, so she always lived in the gloom. So she need them. Well, she was in the East Bay. No, he wasn't. Well, oh, yeah. Kind of, sort of. But she in Vegas now, so she ain't about to have no shortage of hot weather. Well, she gonna have a shortage of, yeah, hot weather when it get cold, cause it be freezing out there. Oh my gosh, Vegas be getting cold, cold. Y'all had snow like, was it last year, the year before last, something like that. Um, but I will say, even when it's like that, the sun is out. LA has gotten to a point where I don't know what kind of global warming we dealing with. Like Trump say, if it's global warming, why is it so cold? That's y'all president. That's y'all president. If it's global warming, why is it so cold? Let's get to the positive impacts. Because, we always want to end on some positive. Increased joy and connection. Yes, y'all did have some. See, y'all had some snow. I mean, that's pretty because it ain't going to stay long. It ain't like that nasty snow where it's just like dig yourself out and you can't open your front door because it's just like that. And I can't. No, we not doing that. Your niece Starla live in Minnesota though, so she be having that. It was negative 37 last year. She was like, "No, Auntie, I'm about to go out to the store." You said it's negative 37, girl. How you survive that? She said you layer up, baby. It ain't enough clothes and enough layers. I don't know how she do that. That's beyond what this little peanut can comprehend. No sir, Rebob, no ma'am. Okay, the positive impacts: increased joy and connection. Spending time with loved ones can enhance feelings of belonging and emotional support. When you have shared rituals and traditions, it does boost your mood and nostalgia. Oftentimes, it'll trigger like a feel good hormone. They say like oxytocin and serotonin, which a lot of stuff give you that. So that's how I feel when I'm with my niece, my daughter. It don't have nothing to do with a holiday. It's just me spending quality, fun time with them increases my oxytocin and serotonin. So you don't need no holidays for none of this. And to go buy them some ice cream. Stress relief for some. Of course, we talk about the negative, but here are some positives. Family is who you make it, because you can find you family in whomever else and not see the holidays as I have to be with said it's my brother or sister or son or daughter or this person. Your family might be your neighbor. You go next door around 12 or 1 because the husband was out on the grill and you in there with the wife talking and you look up and it's 9 p.m. You had a good holiday. It wasn't your family, but you spent it with family. So, for some, time off, taking time off from school sometimes, that's the positive. Rest and relaxation, we got a day off. A break from a routine. We ain't have to do that today. I have to go take these kids this morning and get up at 6 and make sure we in the car, warming the car up and doing all of this. We ain't have to do that. So sometimes that's the positive. It's always positives, right? Boosting gratitude and generosity. When you have holidays, and they always want to say like the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, it often increases your awareness of how blessed you are, and it inspires people to give to those less fortunate. Most people aren't like, although black people are known to be the most charitable, by and large we are, and collectively we donate larger amounts, which is crazy when you look at some other statistics, and I get y'all that on another day. But anyhow, you being introspective and reflective of your year, your losses, your gains. That's what the holidays do. You look back and say, oh, what I've achieved, what I thought, whatever, all those good things. And it inspires you to have an emotional well-being that even though I don't have this, I see that there are people in need. There were just fires where everybody lost their home. There, like there are things going on. It makes you more aware of, just more self-aware. How about that? Just makes you more self-aware, and that can never be a negative. So that's another positive. A sense of purpose and identity. Sometimes celebrating cultural and religious holidays. Uh, for me, of course, is going to be Kwanzaa and Juneteenth that's coming up. You feel so rooted in something bigger than yourself, and that's a positive. Whenever you can look at yourself, identify, and say, "This makes me proud to be who I am." My roots. You feel grounded and rooted in something. Um, it allows for you to have a stronger self worth and self meaning. It helps you find who it is that you are, who you want to be, when you can identify those core beliefs and values. So one of the thing I'm gonna start doing is, some of this stuff just got a straight up theme to it. Like, as I went into this stuff, I'm like, dang, another pagan holiday that got to do with some shady, you know, about doing wrong things to women while we celebrating where the sun's positioning is. And then some church wants to piggyback on the pagan holiday and flip it and turn it into a celebratory holiday. It mostly all starts as a Roman something. So Rome is woven through it all, okay? And festivals around season. The festivals around season. So, baby, maybe this is giving you some thought to this Buddhist principle. The root of suffering is attachment. Now, listen to my on purpose statement, because this is crazy. So, in closing, my on purpose statement is: practicing detachment while craving connection is brutal. I said, oh, that sums up my emotional state. Learning to detach from stuff. Learning to detach. Because again, the root of suffering is attachment. Detaching from people, things, places, relationships. Because it is truly the root of suffering. Yet you crave connection. So it's so oxymoronic, and the paradox of it all, because this is the turmoil in my brain right now. Again, it's my life, these my thoughts, this is what y'all get. Y'all asked to be invited in here, up here. Okay? Y'all asked for a little door to open up and say, I want to go in there. And then y'all walk in every Tuesday at 6:30, and this is what be going on. So the paradox is, it's crazy. And I'm trying to figure it out. And that's that. Because it is brutal. Because you do crave connection. Because we're humans. And that's what we're designed for. But we're also designed for not to be long suffering. Especially when it's us trying to control stuff. That's oftentimes the attachment. The attachment is our attachment to the control of something. So, my high of the week. My first high of the week was when I got to the airport and I saw Sterling B standing over there at 1M, and I made him fly Frontier. I told y'all that I couldn't find. He gonna spring to show me last minute. He got on Frontier, okay, and he got Frontier. Seeing him on the little thing, waiting with his little bag, come out, pop the trunk. That's my Sterling B. So that was a high of the week. And then on Mother's Day, me and Audrey just riding bikes all through the streets of the hood. That's fun. I'm gonna say that's it. Oh, and on Mother's Day, I sat with Nana for like 3, 4 hours just talking, and we had a good old time. She told me about. I'm gonna tell y'all this. Sorry, Rodney. I'm dropping down. I don't know if you watch Victoria. If you do, I guess you gonna hear the story. But she said, yeah, we were talking about prom parties because of my niece's prom party. We were talking about that was how we got into the conversation. And she said Rodney went to prom. The whole family was at the house. It's a big family. Everybody at the house, and wasn't like prom party of the day. It was probably some spaghetti in there, some chicken, and just your family. It ain't decorations and all that. You probably had a balloon. You may not have. You might have had. You had punch. I don't know if you had a cake or not. He walked into the house, I guess, after going to get a haircut or whatever, and he talking about he ain't going to prom no more. And Nana said, "What? You not going to prom?" He said, "Yeah, she cut her hair. The girl who he went to prom with cut her hair." And he said, "We ain't doing this." You know, back in the 80s. Wait, no, Rose Rodney, 80? Rodney was 80, 89. Maybe, yeah, I think he might have been class 8. So, you know, back in the 80s, you know, everybody had him a baddie. She was light skinned with long hair. And then she came with little Halle Berry. And he was not trying to Halle Berry. He was not trying. So that was funny. Anyhow, that was a high. That was a funny story that Nana told me. It was some others. I'm not even about to do that to them. So that was my high. Mother's Day with Nana, riding bikes with Aja, and picking up my Sterling B. My low of the week, we ain't gonna get into it. It's just disappointment. People just be so disappointing. Just disappointing. Ugh. Hence the detachment. I'm tired of the constant disappointing. Some people, they can only be consistent as it relates to being disappointing. That ain't the kind of consistency you want in people. And that's it. So that's all I got for y'all, for the people today on May 13th. Don't forget, I got a 3-part segment coming up for the holidays. Not these kind of holidays. It's called, what's it called? It's about how to people can't hold their liquor. That's what it's about. So the first installment, the first part of that series is going to be after Memorial Day, the Tuesday following Memorial Day. The second one is a Tuesday following, and I don't know about that because I might be in the air. I got to figure out that flight. But I think I'm going to be flying back from vacation for my birthday. But we'll see. But that 4th of July episode, and then a Labor Day episode. Because we're going to have stories, we're going to share, and then I'm going to open it up to y'all craziest time. Y'all can click in, and I can add y'all if y'all want to be on camera or whatever, and we can chat about it and talk about funny stories, because we did all had some fall in the pools, falls, people hurting themselves real bad, crazy things that done happen, because why you can't hold your liquor and why you cutting up and acting like that. It happens all the time. We know we do it. Hey, Ngozi. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be talking about on that one. So yeah, I think that's all I got for y'all. Next week. Okay, so after doing this show, I don't know if I'm gonna do it next week, but I do have a show. It's kind of heavy and it might hurt people's feelings, but it's serious, and it's about what it's about. I gotta tell y'all, but it's about grief and how much of it is performative. Cause y'all, we gonna dive into that. Maybe not next week, but one of these weeks we're gonna dive into that, because she knows all too well how some of this stuff go. So yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging in here with me and checking out the Crazy Melanin Princess, aka Big Mama, for a little over an hour now. I I ain't got nothing else for y'all. You know, you ain't gotta go home, but you do gotta get up off my line. So, night night. Thank you. I love y'all.